No more baseball. No more basketball. Not that the NBA is any good. No more soccer. Not that anyone watches that garbage. And no more hockey. I mean, that one stings a little bit, but I'm at Game 7. I know the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup. They're hoisting it. I see Barkov, and it warms your heart. But I'm just there thinking, man, if the Packers won the Super Bowl, I'd be on my knees crying, thanking God for living in this lifetime where the Packers win a Super Bowl. It's back. 2 days. We have a great week 1 matchup, or opening week matchup, in Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens. I'm so excited to watch football. I already have $60 on this game, $500 in futures for the season, but y'all don't give a shit about that. Let's get to the week 1 preview. A lot of matchups. It's rivalry week, even though there's only 2 real rivalries in this one. One of them is a week 1 rivalry, and that's it. And quick disclaimer, for those saying, I don't want to trade. I don't want to. I'm going to wait till week 12 till I can trade. Shane made 1 trade last year. 1. He came in last. No diss. But it's true. It's true. It happens. Dom didn't make a trade, though, and he came in second. So, but not first. Zach was making deals. Zach was making trades, and it puts him at the top of the league, as he is the league champion going into this year. The defending champion. Congrats again for Zach. First year, and he wins it. Amazing. So don't be a pussy, is what I'm saying. Make a trade. You don't have to do it preseason. You don't have to. I get it's scary. But if it's week 5, and you're like, I'm 1-4, let's just run it back. Just run it back. No, don't be Pat Riley. Make a trade. Get something, please. It makes it more interesting for everybody. It makes you less suicidal when you just keep losing with Dameon Pierce. Just please. First matchup of the week. I'm going to start out with one of our rivalries. I got Carson versus Dom. Both of these teams' running backs are cracked out. We got Bijan and Pacheco for Carson. And I think that Pacheco matchup, Thursday Night Football, is going to decide the entire week. He projected a big 13.13, which I wasn't expecting that number. I was expecting more of a 12.5, which isn't drastic, but in fantasy it kind of is for projections. Versus Dom's Jonathan Taylor and Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, both of these guys, sophomore running backs, they're both fantastic. I love them both. I'm so high on both of them. Everyone is. I'm not special. That's not a hot take. This matchup here, let me scroll to my notes here. Let's see what I wrote for this one. Carson versus Dom. I got Dom's running backs this week. I really do. I just think the matchups are a little better. I think Ayuk is going to have a mid-year for Dom. I do. I really do. And he's starting out against a brutal New York Jets secondary, which is hard. But Carson's running back matchups are mid, and it's Jaden Daniels' first start, against the always solidified Buccaneer defense. I'm going to take Dom in this one. This is going to be harder. I'm going to write down my predictions and my record so you guys know my success rate on these picks. But who gives a fuck? Next matchup, I'm going to go me versus the Scrappy Fellas. Michael Whiting versus the Scrappy Fellas. That's Anthony. Gay name. MVP of this matchup can be Tyreek Hill for me. I mean, Jacksonville, he dropped 41 week 1. And I think he's going to have a 30-burger at least. I mean, he's coming out of the gate firing. He's projected 17. Last year, he was going into weeks projected 22. I mean, this is criminally low. I just got a text from my bank. I have insufficient funds, so that's nice to see. And I love my matchups. I got Kamara. I mean, my 55-year-old running backs have Carolina and the New York Giants to work against this week. I love it against his Kansas City Chiefs and Derrick Henry on Thursday Night Football. I think Derrick Henry finally is going to have that year where we say, damn, bro fell off. I mean, it makes no sense that he went to Baltimore. It doesn't at all. Aaron Jones should have gone to Baltimore. That fits way better. And Derrick Henry should have been in Dallas, but Jerry Jones is a fucking idiot and didn't want to do anything. Not that they have a lot of money to work with, but that would have made way more sense. I'm going to take me to win this matchup. I want to say I'm unbiased. I'm not going to take me every week. I didn't do it last year. I didn't at all. Just like my matchups better. I don't like his as much. That's all it is. He's Caleb Williams' first start. He's going to be good, but, it's his first start. And Garrett Wilson, I think he'll have a great year with Rodgers finally as a QB, but it's against San Fran. Christian Kirk as well against the Dolphins' great secondary. I mean, above average secondary. So I'm going to take me to win this one. Let's go to the next matchup of the week. I got a full screen every fucking time. OBG versus the infamous Sack Goblin. And both of these teams actually come into this matchup with the stack. The shocker of the draft was definitely Bobby. You know, Bobby's been infamous as well for sucking all of the meat off of Josh Allen's bone. And for him and Jalen Hurts to have the same equal level of quarterback play in terms of fantasy points, projection-wise, and for them both to be there and for him to go Hurts, it was a shocker. It shook the league. And we'll see how it works out for them. The reason he did this is because of this man, A.J. Brown, though. But in week 1, A.J. Brown's going to get strapped up by Jair Allen, so it's not going to be great. Jalen Hurts, I think he's underrated, but I still think he's going to have a mediocre game against Green Bay. I really do. We're fantastic this year. He's going to bite me in the ass for sure. I think the MVP of this matchup is going to be C.J. Stroud. I think he's going to come out of the gate firing. Rocco's got the stack of Nico Collins, will score a touchdown, and he's got CeeDee Lamb against Cleveland. CeeDee Lamb's going to have a great game no matter who he's playing against. Love CeeDee Lamb. I think Josh Jacobs will struggle a little bit against Philly in his first game for Green Bay, but still think he'll put up a decent amount of points for him. I'm going to take the Sack Goblin to win this matchup, MVP being C.J. Stroud. Now let's go to the next matchup of the week. Come on. We got Rockdog versus Gooch Boy. Now, this matchup is interesting. We'll see how well these fantasy predictions really mean if Tito pulls this one out. Rockdog, Shane, featuring the best drafted team according to Yahoo, and Tito is featuring the worst. They're projected least the most amount of points this week league-wide, and I'm going to take Shane to win this one still. Not because of this reason. I just love his matchups besides Breece Hall against San Fran. And Tito's got a lot of question marks. I mean, Drake London, that's a scary pick. It is. He's got a QB now, but it's a scary pick. Achane, we don't know what the carries are going to look like. Zamir White, rookie running back. We just don't know. I'm going to take Shane because I'm just less scared to pick him. I really am. Let's see what I got on here. I think the MVP of this matchup will still be Joe Burrow against New England, especially if Jamar plays. I think they're going to come out of the gate firing. I know it's against New England, but I think they're going to want to send a message because the Bengals seem to be a little disrespected. They're kind of hidden in the best division in football. But Joe Burrow is still Joe Burrow. People who say he's overrated are stupid. Not overrated. I know you didn't say that, Josh, but not as good as I think he is. I think you're dumb. Joe Burrow, he's got great receivers. He's going to have a great week against the bottom 2 league. But I don't think it'll be enough. Josh Allen plays Arizona. It's Josh Allen. He's going to put up probably the same or barely less points than Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow will be the MVP of this matchup. I'm taking Shane on this one over Tito. Next matchup of the week, we got Zach of the Cracker, league champion, versus Sean Sherman. This is a rematch from last year, week 1 rematch. I don't know if you remember, but I think Zach was like an 85% favorite going into Monday Night Football. It was Cowboys-Giants, and man, did Daniel Jones have a game. I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, I think the Cowboys defense had 40 points that game. 40 points. And it's like, I've heard people be like, not in this league, but I think one person in this league, other people be like, how is that possible? Like, defenses shouldn't get 40 points. It's like, when they have 3 pick sixes and 3 scoop and scores, yes, they should. They totally should. What are you talking about? MVP of this matchup, let's see what I got here. I mean, it's a lot of question marks. I think if Jamar Chase plays, he'll be the MVP of this matchup for Zach of the Cracker. Going back to Jamar, but he's got him at the flex position right now for a reason. We just don't know if he's going to play. I mean, ridiculous what he's doing. I get it. You know, some people are not going to agree with this. Like, it's the players playing. They should get their money, guaranteed. Like, yes, but he's got 2 years left on his contract. Like, this is unheard of a decade ago. Crazy. So I'm taking Jamar Chase. If he doesn't play, I'm going to take Jay Jettas against the New York Giants. I mean, I don't give a fuck who's throwing the ball. I'll throw him the ball, and he'll score 15 points. I don't give a fuck. It's the New York Giants. A lot of question marks, though. Like I said, Jamar. Kyron Williams for this is Zach's team. Kyron Williams is returning kicks or punts. Either way, what? Why? Why is he doing that? Like, he just had a great year for you guys. Like, do you trust your fucking rookie running back that much? Crazy. Rashee Rice, yes, it helps that Hollywood Brown's been playing. But also throughout the year, that's a question mark. How good is he going to be when there's a couple more mouths to feed? We got Kelsey, who's basically the number 1 wide receiver. Xavier Worthy, who's a star running back or star rookie receiver with a ton of speed. We don't know. We just don't know how Rashee Rice is going to be. I don't trust it. I'm taking Sean to win this matchup. Question marks on his end, but JJ and Marvin Harrison, look at this 1-2. Now, the running back room does suffer a ton because of this in Joe Mixon and Tony Pollard, but Joe Mixon's projected a 12.39 against Indianapolis. which isn't bad. Tony Pollard against Chicago, they got a good D-line. I don't like it, but I still think he's going to win it. And Keenan Allen as well is a question mark for Sean. We don't know if he's going to play more than half of week 1 and then miss the rest of the year. We don't know if he's going to be in the shadow of DJ Moore or if he'll have as good of a year as last year. He won't, but it's question marks. I'm taking Sean. MVP this matchup, JJ, Jamar, if he plays. Now for a real matchup. The most anticipated one of the week. Steven is projecting the most points this week at 107. 107. This is because of Christian McCaffrey. He's playing the New York Jets. Does not matter. 18.48 projected. Now, he does have Rachaad White, and Rachaad White is horrible at football. So that's a question mark as well. I think last year was a miracle beyond miracles that he was fantasy relevant. He was very fantasy relevant. He was fantastic on fantasy. But I would watch Rachaad White play football, and I think you stink at football. You stink. So, I don't know. I think it'll be horrible this year. I think 12.5 week 1 is crazy to me. It is against Washington, but still. I literally have in my notes, Rachaad White stinks at football. That's all I have for this matchup. I think the MVP of this week, I actually didn't write it down. I think the MVP this week, let me see. You know what? I think it's going to be Lamar Jackson. I think the Ravens are going to win this game. I feel like the Chiefs is just a game they'll lose. I know they lost last year's week 1, too. They're getting raped by primetime games, by the way. Kansas City, oh my God. But I think Lamar Jackson have a great week. I feel like he always starts hot and then has 5 points week 3. I'm taking Lamar Jackson with MVP. And I'm taking Josh to win the matchup, break the streak. He's going to win week 1 against Josh, even though he's a 44% underdog. I like his matchups better. Calvin Ridley stinks ass. He won't be better on Tennessee. That's a horrible flex spot for Steven, in my opinion. Rachaad White blows at football. And Anthony Richardson, yes, he looked promising last year. Seen some training camp shit that doesn't really matter, but that he kind of stinks. He's also coming off an injury, season ending. We don't know. I trust Josh's team more. That's our week 1 recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a long one. A lot of recapping. Got to explain the rosters because, it's new. But go Pack Go.